Hello, hello, hello. Suddenly, everyone just froze. Okay, that's what happened.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yay. So,
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Awesomebility episode 3. Just like that, 3 episodes again, right? And today is going to be like another exciting lunch session for most of you. If you guys are taking your food right now and watching us, right? Say hi to us in the comment, in the chat. Give us some love, give us some like. If you're watching us from LinkedIn, from my personal LinkedIn, hello guys, welcome to my LinkedIn. If you're watching this from the Ministry of Marketing Facebook group, hello as well, right? And if you're watching this from the Popcorn YouTube channel, hello as well. Welcome. If you're watching us in today's session, I'm super excited. I'm super pumped, right? My theme for this week is all about word of mouth marketing. Okay. In fact, yesterday I was doing a live session in my own personal Facebook group as well. We were also talking about word of mouth marketing, and today we are actually inviting an expert to come in to talk a lot more about word of mouth marketing. We want to we're gonna pick her brains. We're gonna get her advice on this, right? She is a very powerful woman. I'm gonna get Nini to introduce Camelia to us. Maybe Nini.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Amin. So, again, hi to everyone who is watching right now from YouTube, from Facebook, from LinkedIn. If you think that word of mouth marketing is a strategy that your friends or your family or your spouse would like to learn, right? I would suggest that you share this live stream link with them, because I think that let's not waste having an expert, a word of mouth marketing specialist here today with us. Don't waste the airtime lah. Let's share. And the great thing about engaging in our live stream is that you are able to ask direct question to Camelia. My name is Nini Chong. I am the founder of Ministry of Marketing Asia. Awesomebility is a collaboration between Popcorn as well as Ministry of Marketing Asia. So you see here we have Yandaro Al Amin, who is the founder actually, and the CEO of Popcorn, and myself, I am the founder and CEO of Ministry of Marketing Asia, and as I have with me my partner here, Adelina, who is the Chief Creative Officer for Ministry of Marketing Asia. So I would love to introduce Camelia right now. Camelia is someone that I met on Clubhouse during the lockdown. And I think what made that introduction very special is because it's like this. So Camelia's sentence to me, right, when she unmuted her mic for the first time, she asked me, Nini, are you the same Nini Chong that does marketing? I said, yeah, how did you know? Because I'm there for Womentum, right? Which is my wellness startup. And she said that actually what I do is I do word of mouth marketing, right? And you were referred to me from a friend from Singapore. And that introduction itself, myself and Camelia, was done through word of mouth marketing. And I think that it is brilliant. And word of mouth marketing is a very, very powerful tool, right? Camelia, I know that you have been in the industry of word of mouth marketing, right? For 12 years, you shared about that just now, but I really would love to understand more about what you do as a word of mouth marketing specialist. And maybe you are able to introduce your root warmers as well, right? Over to you, Camelia.
I guess the first. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm dying to get started, but it's okay. Hey, hi everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're having a very nice casual lunch. What do you call it? Please chew your food. Don't just gulp it down. All right. Okay. Let's begin on this very interesting topic: word of mouth marketing. What's the difference? Okay, word of mouth. I think Amin just now talked to me that he said it's just people talking about you. And word of mouth marketing, which is what we do, is people talking about you and your business with a purpose. Okay, so the way we do it, everyone knows word of mouth. Everyone knows about word of mouth marketing. There is no right, no wrong. Everyone has their understanding and perception of word of mouth. Now, how we positioned it is very simple. I wanted to, what do you call it, just to let you know, I'm going to go back a little bit into this part here where many people listening or interested in word of mouth, you all have a business background. I'm sure everyone in this room has some kind of business or have done some kind of business. But the idea here is that many people are not aware, including me, that I started business street smart. I did not go to school. I don't have a paper qualification in business. I don't have a degree because I was not interested in the corporate line. I wanted to be an so quote unquote entrepreneur. So what happens is many of us, I think I'm sure in this room too, I don't know if anybody's got a degree or a PhD or a bachelor's or a master's in marketing or business. 99% of people who are entrepreneurs are trained street smart. That means there is no book, there is no paper qualification. Now, why word of mouth marketing is also, what do you call it, associated with this is because word of mouth marketing is also street smart. People who are in this kind of business, who start their business street smart, should be doing word of mouth marketing because there is no higher institute of learning that teaches word of mouth marketing as a subject. Okay. If you go back into the world of marketing, you know it takes 4 years of a degree to get marketing degree, to get a PhD, bachelor's, whatever. Takes 4 years. And it takes a certain amount of money to pay for it. Many people cannot afford to do. And how I launched myself into word of mouth marketing was because of this. That there's normal people who start their business street smart. They start business to survive, to support their family, what do you call it, as a, another vocation that they wanted to do. They didn't want to do corporate, they just started it. They had some money, they had some contacts, they had friends who peer pressure, who says, hey, let's do some business, and bang, everybody's in business, right? So many a times you find yourself like that. So word of mouth marketing is parallel to people like us. I did not start word of mouth marketing until, as I said, 12, 13 years ago. I didn't even know it existed. I wish I had known before, like all of us. But I was, what do you call it? I was with a group of ladies who were trying to market their business. This was 12, 13 years ago. And I found that they had so much difficulty to promote their product. And they didn't have the skills. They wanted the sales, but they didn't know the marketing side. And many people are very confused on this. Is it marketing? Is it sales? Which is it? How should I start, etc., etc. So being an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur for more than 4 decades, 4 years, 40 years, sorry. And that's a long time. There's a lot of business accumulation of knowledge and experience that I had over those years. So I decided to put it to good use and do a bit more research. How can I help these business ladies to get started? And that was the journey that I started. That was how word of mouth marketing. And I realized it was just being street smart. There's nothing fancy about word of mouth marketing, but if you create a process, a system on how to do it step by step, your ROI of investment is much better and much faster. So there you go. That's word of mouth marketing. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm curious to know more about the process of it because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, even myself in the beginning, always thought that word of mouth marketing is not something that you can actually plan out. It's not something that you can
No.
engineer,
Yeah.
right? You always had this idea that as long as what you do is good and it gets people to be happy and excited, they will talk about you. That's what I always thought about, right?
Yeah.
But is it possible for it to be planned out? Can you actually facilitate the whole word of mouth marketing? That is something that I'm very curious about. So, what are your
Yes.
thoughts on this?
Yes, you can. You should curate it because you see what happens is word of mouth marketing is so random. It's so like in the air. Everybody's doing it, and you don't know who's talking about who and what are they talking about. Is it good? Is it bad? So there's a little bit like a mystery to it, right? So what I did was I channeled all that and gave it a strategy. You curate it. You actually can cut and paste whatever you want, what people want to see. I guess the main challenge is not you're talking about it. It's just how do you get others to talk about you? This is the challenge of many people with a mouth marketing. How do I get a lot of these questions like, how do I get my customers to recommend me to their friends? They know a lot of people, but I seem it's to get stuck there. They don't seem to spread the word. How do I do that? That was the part that we took over, and we decided to curate that part. So it makes it easy for you to get others to talk about you. So the process is a bit step by step. Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk about it. You don't have too much time though, but it can be done, and it is curated, because in the process of 12 over years, thousands of people have used our system, and many of them have made loads of money, from multi-millions to 10 ringgit, whatever. They still make the loads of money using the system. You create a system, you structure it, like anything that you structure, even whatever that you're doing. The minute there is a structure, it's easy to follow, and you can guarantee the results, because you're following a structured system
Now I'm
that you
curious to know a little bit more about the system. Okay, so is it possible? I know that we only have like 30 minutes to talk about it,
yeah.
but maybe you can
Yeah.
just give us like an overview of what the system is, like rather than going into the details of it. But like, is there like
Okay.
a step by
Okay.
step? Yeah, let's look into that.
I think the first concept you have to understand, word of mouth marketing is not talking about you. Okay, a lot of people think, I'm going to talk about myself, but when you talk, normally you don't talk about yourself. You don't say, hey, I'm good, I'm fantabulous, you please talk about me. You don't do that. You get It's people talking about you, right? So this is the problem, because when you do sales, a lot of times, I've got this product, it's very good, you should try it, and that's where you go. You're not talking about your product. People talk about your product. So at the end of the day, word of mouth marketing is getting people to talk about you, or you talk about other people's business. This is a very strong fundamental concept, that you must be inclined to want to talk about other people first, and then they talk about you. Okay, so that is a fundamental concept of word of mouth marketing. Even right now, today, I have created a new designed a new module which is going online. We're launching it in October, and we call it Referral Works. Referral Works is what I have actually sent to Nine, for those of you who want referrals, or you want qualified referrals. So if you're looking at qualified referrals, you got to follow a system. If you're looking at referrals at random, please, you can do it, but you don't get the returns that you want. So we do it the qualified ones using word of mouth marketing. So if you're that is the basic fundamental, yeah. Learn to talk about others. Learn to give others an opportunity to grow. It is not about you. It is many people. I had that problem too when I first started. Like, why am I not interested in myself? Who's going to talk about me? Who's going to be interested in me? I'm busy talking about others, but who's talking about me? See, so the whole idea is, you have to forego that. Somebody will be talking about you. Don't worry, because all that is in the structure and the system. Okay, that people will get to talk about you. That is the first thing that you have to know. What do you call it, about word of mouth marketing? Talking about others, promoting other people, because it is built within a community of people. If you go at random outside the community, people will not want to talk about you, definitely. Okay, in the industry, nobody wants to talk about you. They want people to know about them first. Okay, so this paying it forward, I love the word Adelina was using, the word paying it forward, giving and being grateful all the time for what you get, is very, very important. So when we start the system, we actually build up the person. The whole ecosystem of the person is built up first. We build the character, we build, what do you call it, your confidence level, we build up your communication skills, because we take talking for granted, we take words for granted. And some people have asked me about social media. What about social media, word of mouth marketing on social media? The content that you put out are the words that you use in lieu of talking. So you have to know what words relate to the person, what attracts the person, right? I think this is engagement, etc., etc. This is the same thing you apply physically, face to face, in word of mouth marketing, right? And I think going back to your topic about personal branding, that's where we start, because word of mouth marketing is you talking to the other person. So whatever character you have, whatever thoughts you have, whether you're a positive person, you're a positive inclined person, are you a universal person, all that comes out in the way you conduct your conversation. And whether it's fake or not, eventually we'll find out, because there's so much, space and time that you can do that. If you're genuine, you will always be the same person. Whether I meet you, what do you call it, in a restaurant, and you're just going there. So this is what personal branding is in word of mouth marketing. It is, there are three things that I'm not sure. I'm not totally 100% in branding, but I believe in branding. There are three things. I put it up this way. First is your personal branding. Second is your product branding. You combine the two, it will represent your business branding, right? So this is the thing that we also, what do you call it, part of the system. We build it up. The soft skills are built up, and then the techniques will come in after, technical parts. So then you hit the ground running. Once you've got all that sorted out, your mindset is ready, your attitude is, you embrace, what do you call it, helping others first, because that's what the universe wants you to do. All that kind of thought. We talk about karma, what goes around comes around. All that is part of the character building, the personal development of the person. Eventually it builds your confidence, but in a very structured way, because when you are networking also, people will judge you or relate to you from the way you conduct your words, and not also your body language, but your words that you select is very, very important. So word of mouth marketing goes a lot on that. Okay, that
That's
gives you some
Nini,
of
you have
it.
any question on
Some
this?
of it. Yeah, please.
that's
Wow.
Me, Adelina, opening up because we do have some question for the audience. So I'm going to address that later.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, it's okay.
opening up for Nini, Nini and Adelina first. Anything you want to like to ask?
I guess
Yeah, I
okay, go ahead first, Adelina. Go ahead first.
I just wanted to say that, I think, because word of mouth marketing, although it seems so fundamental, so it's like word of mouth means I tell someone, right?
Yeah,
And it to see the correlation between that and the weight of personal branding when doing or when implementing word of mouth marketing, I feel is something that not a lot of people are aware of,
yeah,
because they're just thinking, oh, people will talk about the brand. But one thing, what you said earlier about, you know talking about other people, and we spoke earlier before the show about, it's sort of like, I said to Kimberly, it's sort of like, to me it's like paying it forward but in marketing. So I think it's very interesting to see how personal branding, like all you said, who you are as a person and who you are outside, being that genuine person, that if you're not faking it, when people meet you outside, they're going to see the same thing. And how that reflects into people's perception, the trust level,
yes,
um, and how they will propagate what you're saying and what you are about, what your business is about, is super important. So that authenticity, the being yourself, and and just putting it out there that you're not there to put other people down. I think that really builds that character and that trust from people. That's what I'm getting from from what
yes.
you're saying. So I thought that was really interesting. Oh,
Great
Nini.
paraphrasing, Annalena. Great paraphrasing. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you're absolutely on spot there. It is actually it's as simple as your what you do every day. But if you can, you see, people talk about people. There was a session when I did about the word gossip, and gossip is taken always as a negative word, right? But I say, what about positive gossip, where you actually change what you talk about people in in a more added value method, adding value to the other person. That is for me positive gossiping, because then when you do that, you also add value to yourself, right?
Yes,
It's very
exactly.
important. Yeah, yeah. You add
I
value to
agree.
your.
I agree. I have this thing where whenever someone gossips, if whether it's good or bad, right?
Yeah.
I always it is my belief that whatever they say is a reflection of who they are.
There
So
you
if it's
go.
positive gossiping means that they're showing their personality as, hey, let's look at the good things about these
Yes.
people, not propagate,
Yeah.
just bad
Right.
things.
There you go. There you go. So you can always use the same thing. You see, it's about gossiping, but because it's word of mouth, right? You're talking to people about people. So talk about them in a positive manner because you'll be amazed. People go like, wow, I like the way she thinks. I like, and then people begin to relate to you and people begin to follow you. They like the way you think, the way you put it into perspective, the way you think highly of others is irrespective of what the others are thinking. This builds layering of character, layering of your personality at the end of the day. That's why I say when we talk, we take so many things for granted. That is just words, in terms of sentences. What about questions? We put out 500 questions to train our members, 500 different questions, meaning 100 questions in what do you call it, personal development, 100 questions in sales, 100 questions in business, 100 questions in marketing. And all they use this to practice, because there's nothing like asking questions. It's very important, especially in word of mouth marketing.
Okay.
Nice one, Camelia.
Nini, any
I
thoughts on
think,
this? Yeah.
yeah. I think what you're saying, right, about the positive part of gossiping, right, is really edification, right? And I think that is what many leaders are missing, right? That, as you get into that level where people would be talking and promoting you, meaning that you are a leader, your industry, you are a leader from your industry, right, or from your community. So meaning that edifying your team members, edifying certain skills, edifying certain strength, that speaks a lot about what kind of leader that you are, right? And of course, when you are in business, you are already leading a company. But really, Camelia, my belief is that, or rather, Awesomebility's belief is that when we are building our personal brand, or in our journey of building authority, right? There is online and there is offline, and both are equivalently important, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel that when people speak about you, good things about you, edify you, right, then it builds better credibility, or optimize your credibility as a person. But from your experience, your 12 years experience being in the word of mouth marketing world, how true is this? How true is this, right? From your personal experience, how true is that word of mouth marketing really strengthen your personal brand? That's my question.
100% practicing of word of mouth marketing actually does give you huge, what do you call it, ROI in your personal branding, because you're known for it. Because don't forget, branding is to get your message out. Who are you as a person, your brand, and what is your message? And if your message is, hey guys, we have to talk positive things about people and their businesses, let's spread the word about them, that is the message. I mean, of course, you curate and make it shorter, you like a slogan, a tagline. But if that is your intention, then you'll be amazed, what do you call it, how you turn around a lot of people's ideas or concepts on talking about others. So, word of mouth marketing, what we have done is we don't go into anything personal where possible, because it is about business, right? So it's nothing. Not most of my team, when we were in Root Warmers, we never touched the personal, because we're not here as judgment of character. We're not here to judge anything for that matter. We're just taking whatever has been told to us and we pass it on to a customer and recommend the product, the business, or the person. The product, and of course the big T is the trust factor. So in personal branding, especially as you say, in word of mouth marketing, it is huge. is massive because you are the front of your business. You speak to people. They don't talk to your product, they don't talk to your business. You represent all that. So what you bring ahead or what you bring forward is crucial, because when you go networking, what spreads around, people go, did you talk to so and so? Oh, I love her topic. Look at that. We're talking about Whoopi Goldberg. That's word of mouth marketing. We are talking about somebody else, and she is good at what she does. Okay, she's got bad breath. It doesn't matter. We're not here for her bad breath. Our focus is on what she has to share, her content. So, we tend to get into the nitty gritty of people, especially in the world of gossiping. And I refrain from that because it shows such bad upbringing, we call it, especially in business. Don't forget about the family upbringing in business too, because you need to have your ethics, your decorum. You need to know how to conduct yourself. All this is part and parcel of building personal branding. I'm not sure whether I answered your question there, Nine.
Right.
You actually did.
That,
You actually did.
you actually did. You actually did. So we have a question from one of the audience. Andreas has been watching us. Hi, Andreas. It's good to see you again.
Hey,
How are you
Andre.
doing, brother? All right. So Andreas, I think he's also a member for BNI, Business Network International.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us are very familiar with BNI methods in terms of referring people, right, word of mouth marketing and all that.
Right.
So he said that BNI has planned it out in a very procedural way. So
Yes.
what are your thoughts about this?
I love this question. I don't mean
Mm.
to be very condescending, but I was a BNI regional director once upon a time for the southern region of Malaysia, and I was doing it for
Mhm.
5 years, Andreas.
Wow.
So I'm very well trained on it. I was in America for their trainings, etc. So BNI has a fantastic platform. Believe me, I learned really a lot from BNI. In terms of how they have planned it, procedural way, is that how they conduct it in America and how it is conducted in this side of the world, totally different. So here, what do you call it? The procedural way, or what we consider as procedural, is how they interpret word of mouth marketing and networking here. In America, is interpreted in a different way. There is no sort of structured method that is followed to the letter, especially in word of mouth marketing and referrals, right? So here, what do you call it? I think they do a good job, but sometimes it's the community that changes the procedures, that confuses people a little bit more. What do you call it? I think the fun underlying concept of BNI is amazing. It has put a lot of what do you call it? People's eyeballs onto networking and what do you call it, word of mouth. But I feel from what I see here is that we can do more. What I did was, no doubt, I came out from BNI and I decided to give it more detailed. Mine is very very focused, and it is not on the what do you call it, just a random networking. It's very focused, and it is meant to give you the results. So far, those who have followed our system, because it's qualified, you have to qualify people before you give a referral. This is our what do you call it, our bottom line here in my organization. And therefore, though the minute you get a referral, is guaranteed to go through. Whereas I think in BNI, they don't have it that way. That's not really a guarantee. I'm just going to give you referrals, some of it. But those of those I know who have stayed long time in BNI, many, many years, they know each other. So the referrals definitely will be qualified. But for new people, I think it will be a bit difficult. That's my take on it.
And Andreas kind of like responded and says that community is very important. That's right. It can make or break organized
Absolutely.
networking.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Andres. You're right on spot there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool stuff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that
Let's
question.
just see lah, yeah, Camelia. I'm just starting, right? I have a business. I've been running it for maybe about 1 or 2 years.
Sure.
I have a few group of clients, vendors that love me. Okay, is there a tip, or if there is like 3 things that I can start doing so that people can actually start talking about my business? What should I be doing? Right? What would be your advice to me?
What do you call it? Number one, be visible, be out there. reach out to people more than reach out to yourself, okay, before, because we are too much concentrated on ourselves. So let's say you have a couple of people who what do you call it, who loves you, as you say, quote unquote, what do you call it, and you want to make a stronger connection, what do you call it, with them. Build Focus on wanting to build relationships than building sales. Okay, that's number two. Okay, what do you call it? First, reach out. Have a desire to reach out. Don't. A lot of people give me that excuse. I'm an introvert. Actually, you're not an introvert. It's just that you don't know. You don't have the means of learning how to do it. But the minute you know how to do it, I've seen people transform and into excellent speakers. Right. So reach out, build relationships, and always wanting to help others. I think this is a very important. What do you call it? Fundamental. If you want to do, you have to have that kind of mindset, that attitude. You have to embrace it. I tell my members, I eat, live, sleep this. These are the things that I eat and sleep with, because if you don't have it within you, don't look for this outside. A lot of people like to look for it outside. They say, what my friends doing and all. Don't look for it inside of you. It's all coming from you, because it's about you, your personal branding, and yourself. So you must want to get more knowledge, get educated, get into my group Referral Works. We are talking about it all the time, and we are having a super deal at this point, which is so cheap. What right now, because we are doing a those of you, actually, let me just pass on the message. Those of you who are in BNI, please join us, because we're not no more. We're just working on building your skills. So those of you who are in BNI, feel free to visit us, come into Referral Works, which is my new product, and build up your skills. And you can use it in BNI or anywhere that you want to use it. There you go. So it's a lot of build up yourself, your soft skills. That answer
Okay,
your
okay.
question?
So I kind of like how you kind of like re-emphasize on the personal branding part in the beginning, where at the end of the day, before we want to do anything, it's always on the personal branding side first, right?
Yeah.
So now, I'm going to take like a step back, because we don't have much time with you yet left.
No.
How much time do we have with you, by the way? Do we still have like maybe at least 5 more minutes?
We
Camelia?
have 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
Actually,
Okay.
12,
Right.
12 more minutes.
12 more minutes. Okay. You did say something in the beginning, that in order for us, for people to want to start sharing about us, we need to start sharing about them first, right? How
Yes.
to do that, lah? That's the question. What to do? What do I want to? So, what is it I want to share about, right? Maybe there's a tip for us to start, right? What would that be? Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic question. Ask questions. How can I help you? What do you do? You see, you don't have enough information about other people to talk about them. That is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're so much into your own world, right? But when you go into other people's world, you want to promote them, but you don't have the info. So how do you get the info? You ask, right? So this is where it starts from there. How can I help you? What do you need at this point of your time, of your business? Who would you like me to connect you with? What are your core what do you call it, skills that you have? What is important? All this is taught in, actually, for us, we in Referral Works, we teach you this. You go through a practice on this, and a lot of it is learning how to ask the right questions at the right. Don't forget, when you're in business, sometimes you have the right product but wrong person, wrong time, right?
Mm.
Or you have the wrong product but the right person and right time. It doesn't work, it doesn't gel. That's why you like, how come I can't sell? It's because you have not done your research. You have not asked enough questions about your customer to find their needs.
Right. Right.
That's how.
Nice
Good
one.
stuff. Nice one.
Camelia, because you are speaking about so the past two questions, right, is about how to start. Okay, so I would really love your opinion here, right? Because this is something that I am very passionate about, and I think Adelina is the same as well. So um, there is also another way, right? There is also another method, I think, to word of mouth marketing. where we contribute first, right? We contribute to a community, we contribute to a cause, right? And when we have a certain skill set, right, we are able to contribute to this community more effectively because this particular skill set is really needed, for example, right? So I am talking about as a volunteer or as an NGO player, for example, right? Being a community builder, for example. So I used to come from the community world, right? Many years. And I realized that that was when my personal brand and my credibility was built, like it accelerated my journey, right, in building my personal brand and also authority. But I just want to ask you, what is your opinion in this? Because I do feel that when we volunteer, when we are in the community world, we are doing NGO work, most of the time we are not paid. It is working for free. It is contribute value, contributing time, contributing our sweat equity, right? So I just want to ask you this question. Why? Because I believe that through contributing value to the community, it will elevate the community, right? So it's a win-win. While I'm elevating the community, I am showcasing what I am able to do. So, but just would like to know what is your opinion in that, and whether or not it is something that you would recommend in word of mouth marketing.
Okay. There is a saying in our organization is that the answer is in the question. Your answer is in your question because you say, as a volunteer, I put my time out, I show what I can do, etc., etc. If you're calculating calculations that I'm putting in my time voluntary, but you forgot the eyeballs that are looking at you and how many people will word of mouth market you, that you cannot measure. Okay, because you are being visible, you're reaching out to the community. People do not weigh what you do in terms of what you are actually contributing. They weigh on what your efforts are or what you're trying to establish. These are intangible areas. That is the problem. You cannot count it in dollars and cents. But if you look in terms of marketing, the idea of marketing in word of mouth is when people start to talk about you, that is the price that you are paying, you're going to get back, right? And there's no guarantee, there's no guideline, there's no timeline going. When are you going to start talking about me? It doesn't work that way. You can't demand. But then somebody says, hey, listen, because you see, a lot of people think you come in, I'm going to get referrals or I'm going to get. No, there is a time and a place for it and the right person. Because when the person has a need, you are available, you get the business.
Mm.
But until such time you have not established yourself in the market and your competitor has done it, the business goes to them. So you have
Okay.
to make a decision. I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to count the money or the dollars and cents. Your competitors too have the same approach, but they know the value of getting it back one day. And it can be huge. I've seen in word of mouth marketing people making multiple millions after being in doing word of mouth patiently, and then suddenly bang, you get a fantastic contact. This was happened to a lawyer who got a fantastic contact in London, and it went up to 28 million with getting nothing in between.
Wow.
Wow, that's a big wow. So do not underestimate the power of word of mouth marketing. It has even gone up. Our track record, the best of the best, was 100 million USD. A deal was closed because of word of mouth marketing.
Right.
So
I think I
I
have.
don't
Nice one.
underestimate that at all.
I think that's brilliant. This is really brilliant.
It
Now,
is.
just want to say hi to Reza. Hi, thank you for joining us, Reza. Right, and
Hey, Rita.
Dr.
Yes.
Dr.
Dr.
Zaurin is saying slowly
Catherine.
building the influence.
Yes.
Thank you for that thoughts. Right,
Thank you.
I have
Yeah.
one question that because we
Yes.
don't have much time, but I think this is a very important question. Right,
Sure.
we've been talking a lot about the positive influence of word of mouth marketing.
Sure.
But you know, when you are an entrepreneur, there are times where you can't please everyone, right?
Sure.
There
Yeah.
will be people who are dissatisfied with you, okay?
Yep.
And they will bring in their own version of word of mouth marketing to people and say, you know what? These people is like that, they are not so good. These people are that, they're not so good. So, your advice in terms of how to deal with that situation, how do you counter that, right? What would be your step by step process for this, or at least an overview on this? How should I deal with that with bad press? Yeah,
How should I deal with people who think what negative?
yeah. About my brand, about my product and services, right? You will have that. It will
Oh,
happen.
about
Okay.
products and services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad
This
And
was
they
mouthing,
talk.
Camelia, I think.
Yeah,
bad mouth.
they're mouthing you. How?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you follow a system and a structure, normally it doesn't need to go there. You don't have to. You are, because we do the coaching, and we will watch out for you certain areas that you have blindsided, right? And so a lot of times, especially when you are in a structured system, it's easier because then we are able to fall back on your worksheets, what you've done, what you filled up, etc., etc. We can read it. But if you're doing it randomly, there is no protection, none whatsoever. You are subject to the natural causes, whatever is outside there, because you do not have the support system. You need to be, I mean, there are ways to put certain things. I mean, it's just a quick example. If somebody says, like, I'm just going to show you the difference, right? If somebody, you go networking, the guy has met about maybe 100 people from your industry, it's a big conference, and normally people are asking, what do you do, right? When you go networking, that's the first question you ask, what do you do? And the guy goes like, oh God, another question, the same thing. People get tired. But I always recommend maybe another system, another way of putting it. What nature of business are you in? It means the same thing, but it sounds better. It sounds more professional. So this is why positioning yourself and right, to say the right things to the right person will turn on your customers and your future contacts. There you
There
go.
you go. So make
There you
sure
go.
you have insurance. Okay. Because once it happens, it's gonna be difficult for you. So at least the insurance or the structure will help lah. That's how it is, right?
Yeah, the structure is very, very important. You've got to follow a system. Don't take it for granted. Don't let it say, okay, I don't think so. Don't. Please. It's really, I've been an entrepreneur for so long, 40 years. Every
Yeah.
minute right now, especially post-COVID, every minute, every second, every effort you put in must have something constructive. It's very, very difficult for ROI purposes because out of 10, maybe you get two. You score two.
Right.
And sometimes it's not good enough because your competitors are scoring six. See the difference?
So I
Okay.
had a lot of very insightful aha moment today. But I think because of time and all that, one last final thing. Camelia, what's
Yes.
next for you, and how do we get in touch with you?
What's next for me, of course, is referral works. I always say if you want to get qualified referrals, start it right, do it right, and get it right. And if you do want to contact me further to this, I've got my existing email. You can contact me, email me at rootwarmers@gmail.com. You can say, hey, I'm from the Ministry of Marketing Asia, and I want to drop you a line. You can give me a feedback, whatever. Let's get connected. Let's build that relationship because nowadays, I think the future era is all about referrals, relationship, and word of mouth marketing.
Yeah. You are also on LinkedIn, right? We're gonna can start adding you on LinkedIn
I
after
will
this.
be on LinkedIn too. Yes, please give me a little bit. I got to tidy up, clean up. A lot of work went into my what do you call it? My modules. I spent so much time on it, but now we are revamping my LinkedIn, and I will be in action. I will be also on. Sorry, Nini. I will also be on Clubhouse soon. Because I think a lot of people want to discuss about referrals also. Yeah, so that will be another arena. I'll be there probably in another week or so. We should be in. So look out for us there.
Okay. So, final word from Nini, Adelina, right? Just to close the session today. Maybe Adelina, anything you want to say
I
before we
forget.
go?
Hang on. Hang on. Thank you
Uh,
so much, Nene. I mean, we've really talked, but we never really sat down. Thank you so much, for your time and effort. Adeline, okay. Thank you so much also for your input and for the crowd that is listening. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
All right. Okay. Adelina, anything on your side before I pass it to Nini back? And then after we close it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. And just like Amin, right? There's a lot of aha moments in today's conversation. There's so much more insight and the perspective on what word of mouth marketing is and how it can lead to profitability. Um, and I really like how how you put it into in terms of personal branding and also in terms of edifying others, and because I also believe in collaboration. So similar like today's in this program, right, Awesomebility, where we are collaborating Ministry of Marketing and Popcorn, just collaborating with each other and building that the trust and building each other together. I feel is super important because that really shows your character and the kind of the kind of business that you are running, right? And the last thing that I'd like to say is what Nini was talking about in terms of being in NGOs and things like that, where it may not seem like you know like marketing, but really being in NGOs, you get to um, meet people and build your reputation from there. And I think that's something also that is a probably a subset of word of mouth marketing in by being in NGOs. And I love that that conversation came up today. So over to Nini. Thanks, Camelia.
You're very welcome, Angelina.
Wow, I learned so much right today, and it's so good to have you here with us at Awesomebility, Camelia. Because we've spoken so many times, right? But those are like chunks of conversation here and there. We've never really sit down, and it's like the featuring you where we get to unpack this topic, right? Word of mouth marketing, and it is your area of expertise. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Just a little add on, right? I love what Adelina added there, where the NGO world, I think this is what it gave me, right? The epiphany that I had while doing NGO work and building my personal brand is that, when you are doing something, when you are creating value for free, right? People see you that you are contributing, and the currency is value, right? And that value is not necessarily be money. That currency doesn't necessarily be money. But think about this. People might think this, that, oh, you are doing something for free and it is as awesome as this. Imagine if they were to hire you, because if free is already awesome, then what more if it is a paid gig, right? Also, just wanna hook what I would like to say now to what Amin's question just now about bad mouthing, right? I think I have a very very strong personal opinion in this. I believe in not participating in the conversation, and there's just so much that can be done, right? In maybe, for example, word of mouth marketing. Why not just focus on there, participate in your word of mouth marketing, participate in your personal branding and authority building, right? I think that is worthwhile. So for people who are watching right now, you will be able to see a link on the comment area for you to join our Telegram group. Do join us if you would like to claim a free personal branding discovery worksheet, because that will truly support you in the journey of you discovering your personal brand. So again, Camelia, thank you so much. And everyone who's watching from YouTube, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you again next week with another expert. Back to you, Amin. Thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
and thank you so much, Camilla, for being here. Guys, by the way, do join the Telegram group and also follow Awesomebility on LinkedIn as well. Next week we have like another exciting guest coming in. So until then, happy Malaysia Day, right? We are celebrating that this weekend.
Yeah,
Selamat Hari Malaysia. Have a
yeah,
great weekend, and I'll
yeah.
see you again next week. We'll see you
Take
again next
care.
week.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys. Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good
bye-bye.
lunch. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice long weekend.